Hey everybody, good Tuesday morning, top of the morning to you. Hope you're doing okay today. It's a beautiful September morning here in Atlanta, sitting out in my little garden, having my coffee, just taking in some air, relaxing. Ava just left, heading to work. I've got a doctor's appointment at Piedmont at 11. I sleep with a CPAC machine, and so every 6 months you have to go in and they run numbers on it, see how you're doing on it or whatever. I really love it. Even if I didn't need it, I'd still sleep with it. I love it. A lot of people hate it, but I put that little clip on my nose, and it's just like having your own personal humidifier during the night. You never wake up with dry throat or any of that stuff. I love it. So if any of you have any sleep studies, they say that once you sleep with one, it lowers your blood pressure. I love mine. So anyhow, just a little PSA, public service announcement. Ava and I went to see Downton, the final movie. They promised there's gonna be no more after this. Let's hope so. But anyhow, the Morning Post is about going to see Downton. Uh, Usually when I watch a movie or something, sometimes there can be just a line that catches my attention. So this is the line that caught my attention by the cook that was in the kitchen as she was talking to somebody. She said, "Our life is lived in chapters. When one chapter ends, another begins." From Downton. I'm not much for nostalgia TV, but there is something about the past that feels more comforting than thinking about the future or now, the present. The world's in a mess, y'all. It's good to escape from this chaos, daily chaos all the time. Downton is about a big, rich, white family, English family, that just seems to always have bunches of problems. Well, that's what makes good TV. Poor Mary is scandalous now and an outcast because she is now a divorced woman and somewhat of a whore because she hopped into bed with the visitor on the first night he was there after a couple of drinks. Then he turned out to be kind of, yeah. We live and we learn. We'd been there, hadn't we, hun? We've all done that. You like, I've never hopped in no bed with a stranger first time night I ever met him. If you haven't, that's because you never lived. Lord have mercy. Oh, me. But now poor Mary is somewhat of a whore in Downton because she hopped into bed with the visitor after a few drinks on the first night he was visiting. I do like to watch period pieces, especially the English and the royals and all that. I love all period pieces, especially French too. King Louis and all that. These series, Now Ava likes all that silly kind of series about, what was that where all the people dressed. Anyhow, the English are my people. We are a weird, strange sort, us English people. Sellers is an old traditional English name. My granny Sellers had it wrote down on paper the town in England her people came from and all that kind of stuff. I was telling Ava as we stopped by Grant Central to sit by our window and had a meatball, spinach, and onion calzone. At least I did. I love calzone once every 5 years, just oozing with cheese and meatball and spinach and onions. Good Lord. It was about 9 o'clock, way past my time to eat. But I knew I'd only eat half of it, which I did, and I brought the other half home and heated up for a little bit of lunch later today. The marinara is so good, and the melted cheese just oozing out of it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So delicious. I said if I had tons of money, as we were sitting by our window and we was just talking, I said if I had tons of money, I think I'd like to rent a flat in London and maybe live there for about 6 months just to really sink my teeth in and get a good taste of what London would be like living there. And I told her not too far from Hyde Park, where we could walk across the park every evening, like we did that time we were in London. I did feel like I was among my people there. Their biting, sarcastic humor just speaks to the giggles down in my soul. They do have a weird I have that weird sense of humor. And some people, the thing about that humor, people that get it, they get it and they laugh about it or snicker about it. The people that don't get it are kind of insulted by it, and they actually get a little pissed off about it. I had a lady come in the shop yesterday. I was working for a couple hours, and she come in and she's like, sat down up there, and she kept playing on her phone. And I said, "Ma'am, can I help you?" She said, "No, I'm trying to email something over." And I thought about it, and I said, "Well, ma'am, not to tell you how to do your business." I said, "But the whole premise of an email is you email it. You know, you're in Forest Park, you email it, over. And that way other people receive the email." I said, it wasn't meant that you walk in the door and hand the email to somebody. I said, that kind of defeats the purpose. She thought I was being mean. And then she couldn't figure out how to email it. And then she finally got up after about 20 minutes and said, "I'm just going to go back home and figure out how to email it." And I'm like, "See, you email it. Go back home." But I don't think she'll come back. But I was trying to be humorous, but at the same time trying to be, there's truth in humor too. Like, don't come in here worrying me, trying to figure out how to email it before. Anyhow, Jesus, I done used up all my time now on that tangent. But I used to skip class in the 8th grade at Roosevelt High School and go by Ruth Kent's store on Kirkwood and get a Coke and a bag of chips and a candy bar, and go home and watch reruns of Hazel. I loved Hazel. Mr. B, and My Little Margie. I know some of you people never heard of that show. And I'd wait for Dark Shadows to come on. I think it came on like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Barnabas, Dark Shadows. Yeah, I loved it. And at 11:30 at night on Channel 5, there was the big movie back then. And I'd sit and watch the big movie, usually an old black and white rerun of Bob Hope and Dorothy Lamour or whoever that was, and they'd be stranded somewhere on an island. And then after the movie went off, Channel 5 would sign off for the night until the next day. It's crazy, wasn't it? So I do like that the troubled gay servant in Downton, in the end, found happiness with the man that was good to him and loved him. I do like that my people, the English, down through history and castles and mansions and the royals, always had homosexuals. That wasn't hid. History tells us that even King James, the legendary King James Version, the author of the Holy Word of God, was a blatant homosexual. I bet you won't hear any apostolic preachers get up and tell him that in the pulpit come Sunday. They revere that Holy King James Version of their Holy Bible, of the Bible. Homosexual. God used a homosexual to give them their version of the Bible. You won't hear them talk about that from no pulpit. September is flying by faster than you can stick a fork in it. Movies are a good reprieve from the real world of chaos. I remember when Jaws came out, my Uncle Aaron and I went to South DeKalb Mall in the middle of the day, just the two of us. We were so close all those years back then. There had never been a movie like that before. We both left stunned. Aaron said, "Wasn't that some crazy shit?" We were just weary of getting back in the water at Panama City after that. Good Tuesday morning, sweet people. Downton still looks the same. They are just like the rest of us. All the people are aging and getting old, and there are still problems and troubles. Like everybody else, they're downsizing, trying to figure out how to pay bills. Hold on. I think Boom Boom would have liked living at Downton. But with him being a Baptist, I don't know how he would have felt about all those homosexuals. Lady Ava, in the picture on Facebook, Lady Ava dressed the part as she was going to Downton last night on a date night. Love y'all.